Yo, what's going on, everybody? So, YouTube has become more so of a marketing place to prey on consumers like you and I, right? How many times have y'all watched a YouTube video and be like, yo, these are the things that you need to make like the big bucks? And then you sit there and buy it and you still broke and you still not making the big bucks. That's because a lot of the shit they tell you how to buy is stuff they're getting for free. So they sit there and tell you about like these tube lights, pocket lights, whatever the case is. They tell you about all this stuff to get and they're not even paying for themselves. So today, I want to give you guys 4 things for real that you need to actually start making some real money without having to sit here and get a whole bunch of extra shit you're gonna end up not using. Let's get into the video. So, straight to the point. The number one thing that you need to go ahead and invest into when you start to get like into your videography business can be a key light. Now, the reason why key lights are important is because number one, you need something to light your subject professionally, right? So if you invest a little bit of money into your key light, the one I recommend honestly for professional work, not YouTube work, is gonna be either a Kodak VL150, or if you can get lucky like I did, you can get the Kodak VL200 for like 349 bucks. Now I know y'all probably thinking like, yo, bro, that's kind of like Steve, I'm just starting out. But to be real, at least you have a powerful light for any type of scenario, right? So let's say if you're doing like an office interview or some type of corporate interview and then like in a very bright room, well, you can go ahead and crank the brightness up in this joint right here. And then you can expose for the windows a little bit and still be able to have enough light or power to bring your subject up. So then when you sit there, you know, and if you don't have a camera with great dynamic range, but for the most part, any camera that you have, like even like an A6600, GH5, even if you have like those type of cameras, those cameras at least give you like 11 to, no, I was gonna say 11 stops with dynamic range, which is like efficient enough for you to, like, to be able to expose at least something for those windows, maybe get some buildings, some greenery, and then have a powerful light to bring them up, you'll be perfectly fine. That's the first thing on the list I would tell you to get in regards to starting your business. The number 2 thing is gonna be a mic. Now, when I say a mic, it can either be a shotgun mic, but to be honest, I'll probably even recommend like a lapel mic like that I'm using right now, right? Now you can go ahead and get you a Tascam or a Rode video mic. Now these things are like still 200 bucks. I got the first generation still. I would say you can go either way. To be real, Tascam may be a little bit more better because I say you still get like professional audio, like it sounds really good. Don't get me wrong, the Rode mic sounds good as well, but that Tascam sounds better. I just noticed talking about some of this shit you haven't seen, so. Here's the Tascam. This is the DR10L. It's like 200 bucks. Probably can get them used like around 150. These are lifesavers, okay? Professional auto and good lighting, like this is what you start charging big bucks for, right? At this point, they're sitting here looking like, okay, your picture look good and your audio looks good. That instantly right there puts you in a league above most videographers just starting out with just a basic camera and no shotgun mic or no audio at all. So like with a key light and good audio, you can easily make your production stand to like, yo, 8-hour day. That's at least a minimum $1,000. Moving on to the third thing. Now this is important because don't go into a professional client job, because I'm gonna be real with y'all, sometimes perception does matter. Not all the time, but sometimes it does matter. So I don't recommend that you sit there and go into a professional job, talking about some, yeah, I charge $1,000, $1,500 bucks for 4 hours or 8 hours, and you come in with an Amazon Basics tripod. Nah, B, spend a little bit of money on your tripod, because whatever camera that you're sitting there investing into, whether it's like I said, an A6600 or A7S III, whatever the case is, keep in mind that this is holding your camera, right? And this is in your clients also look at this like, yo, I got that same tripod at home. For the most part, yo, you don't want anything that kind of looks like something that your client can afford, because they're like, well, damn, if I can afford that, I didn't need to hire you. So keep that in mind, man. Like, you do not go in there with an Amazon-based tripod for any of your jobs. Like, I highly recommend against that. Not saying that's ever happened to me, where a client was sitting here like, hey, I got that same tripod. Well, actually, no, that did happen. So I'm speaking from personal experience. The tripods I recommend, you go ahead and get you like a Manfrotto tripod. Best Buy, I think they range like around 200 bucks. Again, it's worth the investment based on what you charge. And a lot of the shit I'm telling you how to buy, like this is something that you could buy off one job. So to be real, you get all this stuff. Let's just say you get key light, the mic, and the tripod right now. So far, you are under still $1,000, and you charging your client $1,500 for this professional work. This job is paying for itself. Like, this job is paying for everything, like straight out the gate. And then you can take all the equipment, go to the next job, and you get a seat file, $1,500, $1,500, $1,500. That's how you're gonna start making that money. Stop thinking you have to go out there and buy everything that these YouTubers say that you have to buy, because you'll end up being broke. So a lot of shit that I done bought because the YouTubers said buy it, and a lot of shit I don't use. Now, the last thing that I highly recommend, to be real, like this is almost key. Like when you buy your camera, you should be buying this along with it. And that's gonna be a Prime 24, prime lens, but it's the f2.8 24-70 equivalent. Whether it's an APS-C, full frame, micro four thirds, get you a lens that covers those focal lengths, and it's at f2.8. Because at the end of the day, like, if you are shooting an interview, you need like a tight shot, you could zoom in to, you know what I'm saying, that 70mm and get you a tight, good focal length shot. Or if you're doing like a music video, if you're doing like portraits, like whatever it is, a 24-70 equivalent lens covers you through a lot of focal lengths, and f2.8 is really great, especially if you have a camera like an A7S III that's already fantastic in low light. So low light is not gonna be your problem, but even still, you have a key light to light your subject, so you're always gonna be able to get great looking images and a pretty good depth of field with an f2.8. So with that being said, these are the 4 things that I highly recommend when you guys, like, when you first starting out your business, man. Stay away from YouTube channels for real when you first starting out, unless you're going like to get tips. But when it comes to gear, do not go on YouTube when you first starting your video business, man, because you're gonna sit there and spend a whole bunch of money on shit that you're not gonna use in a full frame. The 4 things that you need is good lighting, great audio, a professional looking tripod, and a lens that can cover you through all the focal lengths that you may have, whether it's for music videos, corporate interviews, portraits, whatever you name it. 24-7 can cover you through all that. So if you learned something, man, go ahead and please hit the thumbs up for me. I'm pretty sure this has helped you out. I get people asking these questions all the time. If you did not like what I recommended, hit the dislike button and tell me why. Like, what didn't you like about it, so maybe I can make another video to make that better. It's your boy Sean B, and I'm out. Deuces.